talking with Oliver Herrell, and his book that he has here is a family book's written by J.C.F. Herrell.
Right.
And what was that? It was 1948.
No, 1942 when the book was published. But my oldest son was born in 1940, and David, his name is in the book. It's in this book.
This picture, can you come here and take this up close? Be careful with it because the book's old. Try to put that, don't move the camera, just bring the book to it. Tell them when you got it in focus there. You got all of it? You got it? All right, so this fella here, the first one, Azar. He was telling me that he was 8 years old.
Yes.
And what?
John Herrell is buried over back in that little Clinton off of 61 Highway there. He said he was 8 years old with his mother when John Herrell was buried there.
And he was a minister, and he left. Did he leave a letter or something to that effect? Or?
No,
it's just word of mouth.
Word of mouth. Now on his monument there at Zion, there's quite a bit about him, and how many people he married, and how many was saved in his preaching, holding revival. He was pastor there at Zion several years.
So the story is that he was 8 years old and was at John Herrell's funeral.
Right.
And he was standing by a big oak tree.
Right.
And of course we were discussing, he was telling me that when you was a young man with your father over there, that there wasn't any oak trees there then.
That's right.
So now, these are, is this John II's children? Am I got that right? Or
Well, I don't really know. That's John Herrell Sr.'s family, which would be their father.
John Sr.
Yeah.
And when we say John Sr., that's who's buried at McAdoo. Is it John Sr. or?
Well, I'd say so.
Right. John Sr. I think we figured out John. He's actually John III from the time that they migrated from Scotland.
Well, I really don't know. I haven't heard too much of that discussed as far as I know that my father said I was Scott Irish.
Scott's Irish.
And but the only thing that I remembered is JCF coming here and talking to my daddy about different people, and he traveled over several states and getting this information to make the book.
Well, John Sr. is, we're assuming that John Sr. He's the one that settled here in Clinton in around 1800. He was the first one, the one that's buried in McAdoo.
As far as I know, that's right.
And now, how did, as he lived, did he was to have, how did Uncle John get the information about him fighting with General Washington on December 25th was it Trenton, Battle of Trenton?
That to me is word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
As far as I know, they've not been able to find any records.
To your knowledge, you ever hear of anybody Azar. Did Azar ever mention whether he was buried with a sword or with his military buttons or?
No, you see, he was only 8 years old when he buried, and when John was buried, so I doubt whether that there's anything, well, of course, see, my father's been dead since 1970, and he was 92 when he died, and you go on back another 100 so many years, it's just, there's no way you can get anything unless it's written out.
Right, that's very difficult.
That's what Tim Harrell from,
Illinois?
yeah, from Bloomington, Illinois, the one that's buried back in barn, is his third great-grandfather.
Yeah.
So John Harrell is buried back there, was, he bought this property in 1830. There's a deed, I have a deed that's a little bit hard to read, but it's been kept, and it's hard to find out anything different because of the fact that if you don't have it written down, you can't go back that far.
Right.
The only thing that I can remember is what I heard my daddy.
Let me ask you something that I've wondered about. Why is a cemetery there called McAdoo? Was John Harrell married to a McAdoo, or how did that? Do you know anything about that?
No, now the McAdoos, there's 3 graves there.
Right.
You've been there.
We've seen it.
Well, there's three McAdoos buried there. I mean, I know the 3, and they're the first, I'd say, that
Started it.
McAdoo, and they may have at the time may have owned the land. I don't know. See, man, to go back and check the records.
Did Sinking Springs Church exist at the time of John Harrell, or it was started there later?
No, you go back 180. What do we say? 188 years? No, 158.
158 years. Right.
You go back and you wouldn't find well, Zion, I guess, is the oldest church, or the oldest Baptist church in Anderson, Kansas. And it was organized in 1812, I believe. Because my brother, Clifford, older than me, he's living over on Ball Road, near Ball Camp. And a group from the church where he belonged, he seen these records there. A group came over and organized Zion Church. In, I believe, about 1812, when the Zion Church was organized. And at that time, it was 150 years from the time. That'd be 150, it'd be in 1962, wouldn't it?
Around in there, I reckon.
You see, 152, and take 100 and, 18 and 12, and 150, 19, that happened to be in 1962. You take 12 off of that'd be 150.
Was JCF member of the Sons of the Revolution, or do you know?
I don't know. He lived over around Grace Baptist Church. That's off of Oak Ridge Highway before you get down to Carnes.
Oh. So now, well, how many?
Is that what you hear?
Well, you're at, what, the clock? That little stuff. Well, now, how many children did you have, Oliver?
7 4 boys and 3 girls. The oldest born in
guys got any questions? Now's time to ask.
Don't go there to answer, but
Try. You got any questions there? Well, according to JCF, the fellows come here, it says they get it from Scotland, landed in Virginia. You know anything about that part of it, or?
well, I've heard, my daddy had talking to other people about, there was three brothers. And they came out of course, North Carolina and Virginia and Tennessee. If you up here to the museum on 441,
It's the Appalachian
no,
Museum.
this is a state museum. It's before you get to North Dam. You know where the grist mill is there?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, I think we've been there.
the museum,
Right.
of course, it's free. You can go in and
That's the museum of 1840 or something like that. Is that what it's called?
I don't know.
It's right next to the grist
It's
mill.
new. The building new. It's not been there maybe 10 years.
Right.
But Mr. Lenore came from Lenore City. In fact, Lenore City was named after his people.
Right.
But he was 95, 96, I think. And I believe he's dead now. But he and I drove down to McAdoo Cemetery. And he thought he knew where the grave was, but there's no marker. And he just was mistaken. But I don't guess it's, well, in fact, I know there's nobody living.
Who knows for sure?
They couldn't know because there's no marker, so, just like Rufus Herrell, he was 8 years old in 1830, so you just imagine how much problem it would be. And if you don't get it down in writing, then it's word of mouth.
Yeah, from there on in,
That's right.
unless somebody leaves a monument or something, it's stone or something.
That's,
Well, I guess your time spans quite a bit. Do you, in your personal memory, remember any of the folks in the first picture there that we were looking at?
oh, no, let's see this one.
Or in
That's
the
it.
first one?
Oh, which one was the first, that's the 12 children?
Right. Well, yeah, the one we was talking about, but,
I had one of those there, and,
sort of toward the front. There's it.
yeah.
In your personal memory, do you remember any of those folks?
No, see, let's see, one of them is my grandfather.
Right.
This one right here is big Matsfield. That's my grandfather's name. And then,
And John.
John up here is my great-grandfather.
Right.
And this, the one that, is that Riley?
That's Rufus, I think. That's we're through Rufus. Riley, was this, that Riley?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, let's see, Reverend Rufus. And that's him here, and this would be,
David's,
it's Riley,
yeah. Riley.
William Riley, would that be?
William.
All right, now, this is Tim, the one that's never hit Illinois. That's his great-great-grandfather. Then this John up here would be great-great-great-grandfather.
place. There was my father, Glenn J., and then Leonard, and then Rufus, and then his daddy's name was Rufus. I'm assuming that this is, that this Rufus in this photo is,
It's Rufus there.
that's Rufus.
No, wait a minute. No, that's the second row here,
Right.
Rufus.
Rufus starts it
Right
out.
there, the
Right.
second row.
I don't know if that's Rufus Senior or Rufus Junior. Both of them were preachers, weren't they?
Yeah, as far as I know, it was in the family. Let's see now.
Now, how old are you right now, if I may ask?
72.
72.
Yeah.
You don't look it.
72 back in June the 28th.
Yeah. I'm a June too. I was born June 1st.
Well, you're a little bit older. You take, up until this, a few years ago, there had been a death. It's nearly 80 descendants of my father and mother. Outside of my mother, I'm talking about the offspring. See, right now we have 13 grandchildren and 2 great-grandchildren. And the 7 children, see, 7 and 13, 20, and 2, 22. Our offspring. But Charlie, knows he had Norma, Peggy, Phil, and trying to think of one that's living in Fort Lauderdale. And there was Norma, Peggy, the girl, and Phil, and can't remember Charlie's oldest.
This be a good opportunity here. If the wife comes in, can we get, if she sits here, will we be able to get her on screen on camera? Call your wife in here, well.
She sits where you're at.
Okay, I'll let her sit where I'm at. What's her?
Margaret.
What, Miss Margaret? She can remember this stuff. You got a minute?
Yeah. No, she just like me, that maybe got, but we have a grandson getting married at 5 o'clock.
Today?
Yeah, this afternoon.
Oh, where at?
Up above, off 61, went under I-75, and go up there.
That's not for a picture, is it?
Yeah, I thought I'd get you to come here and sit and help him,
Oh, no.
help him
Well, I've
out.
got overalls on, it wouldn't make too much
It doesn't,
difference.
it doesn't make any difference.
You cutting out into this?
You want to?
Well, yeah, come on in here and sit down and get your picture taken.
Now, what we could do here is, okay, why don't you cut it out?
Oh, their names?
Yeah, it's going. Yeah, he was telling us how many grandchildren. Yeah.
There's 13 grandchildren, 2 great-grandchildren, 7 children, 13 grandchildren, 2 great-grandchildren.
David has 4 children, 4 boys. Joey, Davy, Derek, and also Jason is the
Jason.
youngest. And Jimmy is the second boy. He has two children. Debbie, who married to Rosa, and also Kimmy, which is getting married tonight. And Robert has three children, which is Robbie and Catherine and Ricky. Jane has two children, Terry and Randy. And Mary Ruth has two, Stephanie and Joe. Joe is two. And then Judy's our next girl, and she's single. And then Paul. And of course, she doesn't have any children.
Are they local or kind of scattered
They're
around?
all local now.
Are they? That's wonderful. That's, okay, cut it down if we could, she running?
Yeah.
Okay, Uncle, I'll just step in there and tell who.
Well, I'll go to the back. It's David, Jane, Judy, Mary Ruth, Robert, Jimmy, Paul, my wife, Margaret, and of course this myself.
That's my nice family. That's a nice picture too.
I was trying to talk about the grandchildren. I was trying to get
Can you, yeah,
He looks like Duck, don't he? You know,
there's a
like
resemblance. Now let's
real
get,
there. You gotta remember, it doesn't look the same on television as it does in your real thing.
I hope it looks better.
But still, it's a black and white picture.